Fallout 5 has a ton of anticipation surrounding it, and it only continues to grow with time. But one of the biggest questions is whether Bethesda Game Studios can avoid the mistakes it made with Starfield. While of course Fallout has been a very beloved franchise in the RPG space for many years now, there are some concerns about how the game will be released ultimately, and if Bethesda Game Studios will avoid their past mistakes. But before we get into it, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the latest Fallout news. The Fallout game series, despite its significant fan base, has experienced its fair share of challenges in the past. Fallout 4 was generally well received, but did face some criticism for stripping down some classic RPG elements. Fallout 76, on the other hand, the franchise's first multiplayer entry, launched back in 2018 to a storm of negative reviews due to the bugs and lack of content in the game. While of course Fallout 76 has been improved with several updates and expansions to the game, the initial reception at release tainted its long-term potential for success. Luckily, recent developments have revived interest in the franchise. The success of the Fallout TV show has created new excitement, increasing player counts for all of their existing games. Additionally, fan-made mods such as the ambitious Fallout London mod have reignited passion within the community. Now with Fallout 5 still a ways off at the moment, Bethesda has the chance to recapture the series' glory, but only if it can avoid the pitfalls that plagued Starfield. One of the most critical decisions Bethesda Game Studios will face with Fallout 5 is whether to make it an Xbox and PC exclusive like Starfield, or to release it on multiple platforms, including PlayStation and Nintendo. Given that Bethesda Game Studios was bought by Microsoft back in 2021, it's expected that this title will be primarily developed for Xbox and Windows. And while this strategy may align with Microsoft's key goals, it could alienate a significant portion of potential players. By limiting this new game Fallout 5 to only Xbox and PC, Bethesda Game Studios risk missing out on sales from PlayStation users, a group that has played previous Fallout titles like Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 in the past. And let's not forget, the financial benefit of releasing Fallout 5 across multiple different platforms could be immense, as more platforms mean more players, and by extension more revenue for the game. This in turn could lead to higher budgets for DLC and future updates, ensuring that the game remains relevant for years to come and is exposed to a ton of new players. We've also seen this shift in Xbox's release strategy as of recent, with upcoming games like Indiana Jones and the Great Circle releasing this December on Xbox and PC, followed by a PS5 release in early 2025. And by the time we finally see Fallout 5, the landscape around Xbox games could drastically be changed, and if recent trends are any indication, then it will probably be on PlayStation consoles at some point in the future, and possibly even Nintendo. And of course, when talking about Nintendo here, let's not forget about the Nintendo Switch 2, which is currently rumored to be releasing at some point in 2025. This new Switch will have a lot more power than its predecessor, and we will probably see these games on Nintendo consoles at some point in the future as well. Overall, I think multiple platform releases are a good idea for both Xbox and PlayStation. It is for sure better for the gamers, so more of us can play all of these amazing games from both companies. And although it's a key factor here, multi-platform releases are not just about money, but about preserving the series' status in the future. Both Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 were available previously on PlayStation platforms, and this helped grow the game's community. And this was particularly important for a multiplayer-centric game like Fallout 76, and them having the largest possible audience was essential for maintaining the health of the game and overall saving it through its struggles. In my opinion, it would be unwise to restrict Fallout 5 to Xbox and PC, as it would reduce the players it can reach and possibly limit the game's potential. Moreover, allowing Fallout 5 to be experienced by all gamers regardless of the platform the game's released on would definitely uphold the spirit of inclusivity that the franchise has maintained for years by releasing on multiple platforms. The argument for Fallout 5 remaining an Xbox exclusive is tied to Microsoft's need for strong first-party titles. Over the past few years, it's no secret that Xbox has struggled to compete with PlayStation's robust roster of exclusive games. And let me be clear, I think that all exclusive games should be done away with, and PlayStation should open up their games to be released on other platforms as well, which it looks like they're starting to do with games like LEGO Horizon being released on the Nintendo Switch in the coming months. But titles like Halo Infinite have not delivered the impact that Microsoft had hoped for, while PlayStation continues to produce critically acclaimed exclusives that drive console sales. The success of Sony's exclusives such as The Last of Us, God of War, and Spider-Man has given the PlayStation platform a competitive edge over Xbox, and as Microsoft works to catch up to them, it may view Fallout 5 as the perfect opportunity to establish a powerful, recognizable Xbox exclusive title that could rival PlayStation's offerings. If the game is well received by fans and manages to capture the attention of RPG players, it could serve as a significant boost to the Xbox platform. However, there are risks associated with this strategy from Microsoft. If Fallout 5 were to follow in the footsteps of Starfield here, it could limit the game's reach and its overall success. While Starfield saw significant attention online, it did not fully live up to the hype and is still working through issues that have hampered its potential. If Fallout 5 were to encounter similar problems, keeping it exclusive to Xbox could prove detrimental to the game's success. At this point, it's very difficult to predict whether Fallout 5 will be an Xbox exclusive or not. But recent trends show that major titles like Indiana Jones will be released on multiple platforms and not be exclusive to Xbox. And then Sea of Thieves, another Microsoft-owned game, eventually became available on PlayStation, suggesting cross-platform releases are still possible for the studio. And other games like Hi-Fi Rush and Pentiment eventually made their way over to PlayStation as well. One factor that could heavily influence this decision for the studio is the timing of the release. Fallout 5 is currently not expected to launch until the late 2020s or even the early 2030s, which gives Microsoft some time to reassess its approach. And if Xbox continues to lag behind PlayStation in terms of exclusive titles, it might prioritize releasing Fallout 5 on all platforms to maximize its sales and audience. Additionally, the launch of a new generation of consoles could also play a huge role here, and the rumor is it might not be that far off for new consoles. New hardware releases often rely on flagship titles to drive initial sales, and Fallout 5 could be the perfect game to showcase the capabilities of the next Xbox, which is currently rumored to be releasing in 2026. Depending on how the console landscape evolves over time in the coming years, Microsoft's strategy could shift to either reinforce Xbox's exclusivity or return to a broader, multi-platform approach. While many details about Fallout 5 currently remain under wraps, there are some tantalizing hints about what to expect from the game. According to Todd Howard, Bethesda's game director, Fallout 5 will feature an upgraded engine, a crucial improvement given the limitations of the previous titles. Although Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 ran decently, all things considered, their outdated engines limited the scope of what could be achieved in terms of graphics, physics, and overall immersion in these games. As for the setting and story, very little is known for Fallout 5. Early speculation has suggested that forgotten factions from past Fallout games could return, and certain plot points have been off limits in the Fallout TV show to preserve them for the game. This has led to some theories online that Fallout 5 could be set in an area that ties it with a TV show somehow, potentially deepening the franchise's lore by connecting the two media. My running theory and guess at the moment is that Fallout 5 will be based in San Francisco, but obviously that's just a complete guess and what I think. Given the long development time, the success of the Fallout TV series, and the improvements in technology at the studio, Fallout 5 is facing some of the highest expectations in the series' history. Many fans are hoping for a return to form for the Fallout franchise with immersive RPG mechanics, rich storytelling, and expansive open worlds that we have come to love from them. If Bethesda Game Studios can deliver on these fronts while avoiding the mistakes of restricting the game to a single platform, Fallout 5 could be one of the most successful entries in the franchise to date. But in the end, Fallout 5 has the potential to either revolutionize the series or face major backlash similar to what Starfield saw. I don't see anything in the middle happening there, but it would probably be one of the other two extremes. And this decision to make it an Xbox exclusive or release it on multiple platforms will play a crucial role in the game's success. By learning from the mistakes of Starfield, Bethesda Game Studios has the opportunity to bring Fallout 5 to a broader audience and restore the franchise's legacy. At this point, only time will tell if Bethesda and Microsoft make the right choice here, but the stakes have never been higher for the future of Fallout. Bethesda's recent games like Fallout 4 and Starfield introduced ambitious features such as settlement building and spaceship customization. While of course these mechanics expanded gameplay, they often felt like distractions from the core RPG experience that fans have always cherished from their games. Fallout 5 should take a different approach here in my opinion by focusing more on the elements that made earlier Fallout titles like Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas so successful. In Fallout 4, many players found the building mechanics such as constructing settlements to be tedious and unaligned with the heart of what makes Bethesda RPGs so special. On a more positive note though, if they do bring settlements back in the next Fallout game, Fallout 5, they should be added in a way like they were in Fallout 4, where they were in some way tied to the story. The settlements in Starfield felt very lacking in many aspects, and you really had no reason to go out of your way and build one. I think I did it a few times and overall just forgot about it in the end. Instead of expanding these features, Fallout 5 should dial back and focus on delivering a more streamlined experience, which ultimately is centered around exploration and meaningful choices. To return to its roots, Fallout 5 should prioritize the things that define the earlier entries in the Fallout series: strong narratives, dense world building, and engaging role-playing elements. Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas excelled because they offered focused, interconnected worlds filled with memorable characters and quests. Modern games like Baldur's Gate 3 demonstrate that smaller, detailed environments can provide a richer experience than vast, empty open worlds. Fallout 5 should similarly aim for a more condensed design, allowing Bethesda to refine the storytelling and character development that have always been the series' strengths. Instead of spreading resources thin with sprawling mechanics and procedural generation, Fallout 5 could benefit from a more intimate focus on role-playing mechanics, unlike what they did in Starfield. By building stronger relationships with factions and characters, crafting meaningful dialogue, and creating a world that ultimately feels alive, the next installment in the Fallout series can truly stand out. Drawing inspiration from past successes like New Vegas' faction-based gameplay and Fallout 3's iconic moments, Bethesda can shape a game that brings Fallout back to its roots while still pushing the series forward. Now let's talk about the release date for Fallout 5. The release of this new game is still a distant prospect at the moment, with realistic expectations pointing to a release date as far as 8 to 10 years from now. While of course Bethesda Game Studios has confirmed that Fallout 5 is on the way at some point in the future and is on their roadmap of game releases, the timeline for major Bethesda titles has stretched considerably over the past several years, which ultimately has led to significant delays between game releases. Historically, Bethesda's flagship games have seen gaps of about 2 to 3 years between release, but this has increased with time. For example, there were only 3 years between Fallout 4, which was released in 2015, and Fallout 76, which was released in 2018. But the gap between Fallout 76 and Starfield was 5 years, 2018 to 2023. The next big release on Bethesda's slate is The Elder Scrolls 6, which entered active development in 2023 after the launch of Starfield. And despite speculations from the Microsoft v FTC trial suggesting a 2026 release for The Elder Scrolls 6, this timeline seems overly optimistic. Given the scope and ambition of Bethesda's games, it is more realistic to expect The Elder Scrolls 6 around 2027 or even 2028, considering potential delays. Following that, Fallout 5 would likely take another 4 to 5 years to develop, placing its release around 2031 at the earliest, or even more likely 2033. This extended timeline is due to Bethesda's pattern of focusing on one major title at a time, while also balancing additional projects and updates like ongoing Fallout 76 content and Starfield DLC. While fans of the Fallout series are riding a high of the excitement generated by the Amazon Prime Fallout TV series, which also led to a resurgence in their other titles, this enthusiasm doesn't translate into a new game anytime soon. Unfortunately for now, players will have to settle for replaying older Fallout titles and potential remasters as the long wait for Fallout 5 stretches ahead. Even if Bethesda offers updates or projections, the history of delays means fans should be prepared for a much later release than hoped. However, we did hear that Xbox and Bethesda want to release more games quicker with a focus on Fallout. So maybe they are having another studio work on a Fallout game, much like they did with the development team at Obsidian Entertainment who made Fallout New Vegas. Another spin-off game from another developer would be our best bet to get a Fallout game before the 2030s, so let's hope something like this happens because I don't want to wait that long. If they do have another developer working on Fallout, we might get a game like 2028 or 2029, that's probably optimistic to think though. Now let's move on to a bit more positive news. The Fallout TV series has now reached a new major milestone, pushing the popularity of the Fallout TV series to all new heights. The Fallout TV series on Prime Video has now surpassed over 100 million viewers, cementing its place as one of the platform's most successful TV shows. Released earlier this year in April, the series quickly became one of the top 3 most watched on Prime Video and has garnered critical acclaim, winning multiple Emmy Awards. Produced by Amazon MGM Studios, Bethesda Game Studios, and Kilter Films, the show's success has led to the announcement of a second season, though a release date is yet to be confirmed. The series is praised for its faithful adaptation of the Fallout game franchise, offering fans a mix of iconic post-apocalyptic themes and fresh perspectives. And Walton Goggins' portrayal of the Ghoul has been particularly well received by fans. With its remarkable viewer numbers, the show is now second only to The Lord of the Rings: The Rings of Power on Prime Video. Additionally, it has sparked renewed interest in the Fallout series, boosting player counts across titles like Fallout 4, Fallout 76, and Fallout New Vegas. This is a bit of a spoiler for Season 1, it's a small one, but if you don't want to know it, feel free to skip this. The second season of Fallout TV series is rumored to explore New Vegas, a beloved location from the game series, adding to fan excitement for what's next. Meanwhile, Bethesda continues to update Fallout 76, integrating new features and updates like Milepost Zero and Skyline Valley. But it really does blow my mind how Bethesda Game Studios' plan if the TV show got very popular was to siphon players into Fallout 76, instead of having a Fallout 5 or some other hypothetical game like New Vegas 2 ready to go for fans. It seems like a really big missed opportunity to me. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the latest Fallout news. And if you're looking for something else to watch, click one of the videos you're seeing on screen right now. I will see you there.